All right, so moving on. Okay, I've had this for quite a while now, but been busy on so many projects, haven't installed it. Got the outside unit in, now I need to start working on this inside piece. So I need to take a couple of measurements of where things need to exit the walls. It's going to be a difficult thing, I think, to get it through there properly. So let's take the lid off this again. It really seems to be packaged quite nicely. I mean, that's some hefty boxing. Okay. So that's going to go up on the wall that direction. Oh, and here's the template. Okay, there's the template for putting it up on the wall. And I didn't realize it had all this other stuff in here. So, got the thermostat, a remote control, and instructions. For some reason, I expected the instructions to be in the other box. So I was just relying on the online instructions. All kinds of goodies. So, installation instructions. That could be useful. And drill it downward as you go out. But there's not a chance that I have room for a hole that big. So I'm planning on doing it in a couple of, kind of an oval hole instead. Okay, well, we'll move over to the wall and figure out where to drill the holes. So my plan is to have the indoor unit on the wall in this area of the garage. And then the line set will go along the wall. I'll put a cover over it, and then it needs to go through that wall above the door. Now, there's a very small space in the framing, and I don't remember exactly the framing. Pretty sure I have a 2x6 stud in this corner to make this wall, and then I would have a space. And then there's two 2x6s here along this framing. So I've got the jack stud here, I've got the main stud here, and then I've got the header in here. So I don't want to drill through the header on this one. I should have enough space to go through right here, along this space here. Now, the unit says to put it at least 6 inches from the ceiling. Whoa! It's 13 inches tall, so that means a total of 19 inches. And then I want to give it a 1/4 inch per foot of slope to make sure that the drain will drain properly. And it's going to be about 8 feet away, so I need to be at about 21 inches. And then that will put the far one at 23 inches. So it's going to be close, but I think it's just going to be just right. Okay, so I'll mark at, so my 19 for the height, so the wall space or the ceiling space, and then the other, the drop for the machine, and then I'll give it 2 inches. That allowed me to put it 8 feet away, and I think I'm only planning on 6 feet away, so that gives a little extra drop. Okay, and then there should be a stud, and with the drywall, that should come out about 1 inch, should be the edge of the stud, and I don't know if I can see it on this. Yeah, see there should be a space between this stud and these 2 studs. So I should be able to put it right through here. And then 1 inch from the other side, I should have about 2.5 inch gap here. So if I drill there, I should make it through with just drywall and maybe OSB. I can't remember if there's OSB on this wall or not. I know there is on this. I know there's OSB on this wall behind the drywall. I can't remember that one. Okay, I'm going to drill through there. Okay, so I should have a space right here. Okay, went straight in, straight through. All right, straight on through. Now I can do the hole saw. So I decided to go with a 2 1/8 inch hole saw. That should be plenty big to get things through. It'll just take a little bit more work to be very careful about it. Nowhere near what it says you're supposed to use, but there's no way I'm drilling a 3.5 inch hole through here. And it will take a little more work to get all the insulation through, but that's fine. And that still should clear the framing in here. Okay, that made it. And I've got my blown in insulation in there. That's all good. All right, so now I'll go from the other side and get that one. Okay, there's the hole from this side. Now I just need to enlarge that. All right, I'll go with back in from this side. All right, so I got my hole. I'll have to push the insulation aside. And boy, I came really close to along the stud. I have less than 1/4 inch along this side. So if I need to enlarge it, oh, and I'm right up against the stud on this side. So I could have only gone 1/4 inch bigger and still had it fit. That's great. So I can oval it out a little bit if I need to get the extra space. But right now, that's looking pretty good. And a deep scan, press twice. Okay. And there could be extra beams in here. Okay. Now we're going this direction. So that's funny. The oldest stud finder I have is the one that looks like it might have worked. Oh, I'm going to go right in for this one this time. Okay, right there. started. Get the vacuum. Sheesh. First try. Sheesh. Now, it doesn't say what other screw holes to use. It just says there's 5 screws. So I have no idea where you're supposed to put the other ones. I mean, the drawing has 8 arrows pointing to holes. So if you're supposed to put a screw each one of those, there would be 8 of them. And it would be odd because some of them are rather large. It says that there's 5 mounting plate screws, and there are. And it mentions those 2 as far as spacing. So I'm going to assume you're supposed to use those 2. It does not mention where to put any of the others. And so that's not very helpful. There's arrows pointing to other things. I don't know what you'd use them for. There's a big slot here, big oval one here, small sideways one there, arrow pointing toward that area here. So I don't really know, but there is another hole directly up from each of these, so I'm going to put another one in each of those. That will help keep this top plate in tighter. So I don't know, but at least those would be in the studs. I got nothing else. In general, it seems to be pretty decent instructions, but a little bit shy on that part. I'm going to run the vacuum and put another hole in there. This giant series of holes across there, which I have no idea what you'd use those for either. Yeah, so it has a few things that it doesn't mention. Anyway, well, this should be good. All right. Okay, that firms up that corner nicely. The bracket, it's the best I can think of. And it's, again, it's OSB behind all of this underneath the drywall. So I could put a screw pretty much anywhere and I'm going to have pretty decent holding. I could always use a toggle bolt or another kind. Okay, that's it for this bracket. All right, that's the bracket in place. Or actually, I guess we could just slide it in there. Okay, it's there. All right, ta-da! And now I need to get to the outside wall. So again, I'm going to go across, well, I'll move this stuff, but then I'll be covering the line set with a covering. Now I need to go out this side. So it's less than 7 feet away. So if I use 1 inch or 1/4 inch per foot, I need 1 3/4 inch drop. So that would put this side at 23 3/4. That would give me my drop. 23 3/4. All right, 23 3/4 is right here. And this one's going to be a little bit different because there isn't space between this stud and these studs, or at least not enough space. That's 6 1/4 to the inside of the door frame. Yeah, so there might be 3/8 inch space in there, but I wouldn't even count on that. So my plan is to go through the header. And again, I know that the joists up in the floor run this way, so there's very little load on this header, and I'm going to drill through it. So I'm going to make sure I don't hit the studs, the jack studs, and the top plate above the door, and then there's a header across here, and then the other 2x come down and rest on it. So I'm going to go through it at a slight angle. I'm going to be at the 23 3/4 height, and then figure out how far away. Okay, because there should be a double stud right here. No, that's not right. There should be a jack stud. This should be setting on it, and then the stud alongside. So if I can identify that stud location. Okay, that's all correct. I should be able to do anything. This side of that should get me where I need to go. And so I want to go as close to this as I can. And that's my center line. I'm going to be drilling out like that. And the edge of the stud, I think, should be right here. Yeah, just built it 15 years ago, and now I can't remember every stud. Okay, so I'm going to come out, and I'm doing a 2 1/4 inch or 2 1/8 inch bit. So if I come out 1 inch and 1/8, if I center it right there, I believe I'll miss everything important. There should be no wires in this. That's over there further for the outside light. There's no switches in there. There's no wiring of any kind in this piece of wall because there's almost impossible to get one there. So that's where I need to go, and I need to go at the best angle I can get, that direction. And then I better double check on the outside, make sure of where that goes. So I'm going to be coming out up here, and 4 3/4 from there. Okay, so I'm going to be going through the cement siding right there at about that level. That should be good. All right. Again, trying to get the best angle I can. All right, got that piece out. Got the blown in insulation there. I'll just pack it to the sides. And then I've got the header. And that, mostly, I think I'm going to have to drill from the other side to be able to reach it. So I'll get that out of there first. All right, now, let's see. Well, the chuck is smaller than the bit, so it should fit in there. So I can drill part of it from here. And I'm actually going to try to drill further over, which means I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm trying to get the best sweeping angle I can so that it's got the least amount of kink as possible. All right. Yeah, and the stud is right there. If I'd have even gone straight from here, it would have hit that stud. And I had about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch down I still could have gone. So couldn't hit it much better than that as far as missing it. Now I'm not sure if I need to pop that piece out yet. I probably do. Okay, I'm far enough to hit that. With that angle, then the piece of wood would be hitting inside the drill now. So I need to pop out that piece. So I need a flat blade screwdriver and I'll pop that out of there. Just going in there and in the groove, then giving the screwdriver a bit of a twist to pop the sections out. Yeah, gonna pop that in there, give it twists, and pop those sections out of there. All right, yep, so pulling the chunks out, get rid of those handful of chips, and try drilling again. So once I make it through the outside, I think I'm good. So I just need to get the hole from the outside to the inside. So that's the angle, but if I come over here a little bit and do a little bit more angle, then I can do more of a curve, I think. So I'm going to go through the siding piece. You can see I have close to probably about a 45-degree angle. So that'll make it easier to get the line set to curve around here because it's already halfway there. Cutting through cement siding is tough on the drill. And the pole saw. I gotta reset my ladder. Okay, there's the siding piece. Yeah, there's the house wrap. Yeah, hopefully it's going to line up okay. Okay, there's the piece of siding. That worked out great. So that's the OSB behind the siding. So I'll have to get that out of there. There we go. Yeah, you can see the angle. So that's the angle that I drilled the hole at. That should work out very well. Ah, there it is. That's the last piece of the door header. So the hole is all the way through now. A little bit of a curve in there. I think that's exactly what I wanted. I think that's better than I could have hoped for. Check out the hole. So made it through, and it's about again, it's probably about a 45 degree. Should work out very well. There it is, and there you can just see the edge of the hole on the far side. Okay, all the lines will go out that and to the outdoor unit. This needs to go out there along with the line sets coming through there. So get those unwound and across here and then just hung temporarily. And I need to cut out, okay, so I need to cut out that piece for the line set to go through and the drain. And it's scored quite nicely for that. That's big enough for the line set, the wire, and the drain to fit through. So I'm going to go for just this smallest piece, because that's still bigger than that. All right. I don't know if I should use something else besides a razor blade knife. It looks like it's pretty deeply scored, made, except for the very end. So I'm going to try to just cut it through. I don't think I need a saw. There it goes. Yeah, that's really deep over here, except for the very top edge. And once I get, oh yeah, once you get it started, it practically just tears. So we'll score it. Yep. It's like it's made to do that. Except I don't want to go very far. Scoring the inside of that line. And the wall. All right, with that piece out, make sure there's no sharp edges. Oh, that's quite nice. And yeah, that's definitely bigger than that, so it should be a breeze. All right, so drain hose will go out here, and the line set will come right in here, and the wire will come through there. Okay, got the line set, and it says to just kind of step on it and straighten it out. So I'm going to start with by hand first. Just make sure the ends are nice and straight. And just very gently straighten them out. Because with our installation, we're pretty much going to use 100% of it to get it where we want it to go. So step one is to get it all straightened out. So just kind of roll it out. Very carefully, slowly, gently. And I just roll it all the way out. So I got a little bit more to straighten it out, but got most of it straightened. You got to very gently straighten it all. So I'm going to take it, come up here, I'm going to lift it onto there. I'm going to start feeding it through there. I think. I hope. Oh, that's not as bad as I thought it would be. Okay, I'm going to come under it. Oh, this is not near as bad as I thought it would be. Okay, pause. It's coming my way. Okay, coming up on top. So scoot down onto the ladder, or up onto the ladder. Okay, well, I'll see if I can get this started through there. Okay. Okay, see, we'll see that. Okay, so this little sleeve seems to be working, so I'm going to cut off the excess plastic of this piece that I put around it. Okay, I'm going to pull more. Now we've got, oh yeah, that'd be good. I can go all the way this end. So we've got it temporarily. I could widen that out a little bit. Got it temporarily hung up there where it's going to be going. It just needs to move all the way to this, about here in the machine. And it's out the first wall and to the second wall. So let's go bring it down to there. Now we've got it going through that first wall and over to the second wall where it's just starting. So I'm going to try to push this a little bit further through there. And it's got to curve slightly as it goes out. Okay. So, got it this far out so far, and then it's going to turn and go over there. So, let's see if I can get more of it out there. So my best bet is probably pulling, not trying to push, because it's so flexible. Okay, I've got both fittings out now. And I'm going to hold the pipes or the line set, and then start bending them in toward the wall. Yeah, because the steep angle of that hole, it's real easy to get this bend in here. Okay, and then that will all get covered up.